Bam, what's going on? Let me hit you guys off with let me break you guys off with that trailer for the ominous Avenging Death. Check it out. And that, my friends, is the official trailer for Ominous Avenging Death, which is launching on June 26th, less than 2 weeks away, right here on this channel. Today, I'm doing a special show, and we're going to have my guest come on at any moment now. No, I had the stream was originally scheduled for 11:30, but I had family issue and I had to delay it um for 30 minutes, and then even with that, I was able to. I didn't get here as quickly as I wanted to, um, so I apologize to the people in the chat and apologize to the people watching this on the replay. Well, you're seeing it on the replay. Doesn't matter to you guys. But yeah, just wanted to apologize to the people watching us live. So I got Dennis. What's going on, Dennis? This is for you, Dennis. Also for any of the subscribers to Ominous. I have sent out another email today. Please check your emails, check your spams, and please be sure that you got the email. If you haven't received an email yet, I've sent out 3. With today, this is the 3rd email. So if you haven't gotten it yet, there might be something going on. Please contact me on my DMs on Twitter, on X, if you have any problems with receiving any emails, because I have sent some out, and I've also gotten people telling me that, hey, I didn't get anything. So please check in your spam folder. You did? Crap. I don't know why that happens. There's information about it, but I'll contact you, Dennis, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah. So yesterday, for those that tuned in, yesterday we were taking a look at the tiers, the rewards option that we have on the campaign. So if you are interested in seeing what the heck happens or what the heck is offered on the campaign, I highly suggest you take a look at yesterday's live stream. But big buts. You have to do that tomorrow, because today we're taking a look at this campaign that you see here to my right. I don't know. I'm not good with directions. But anyways, yeah, this allow me to just make a small introduction of sorts. This creator I have seen around for a long time, since way before I even showed up on the scene. For more than 5 years now, I think. I'm pretty sure. And the IP is if I'm not hopefully I'm not mispronouncing this, but it's Infinitale Chronicles. He'll be on to correct me if I make any mistakes, but yeah, Infinitale Chronicles is the IP, and this person has been around for a long time, campaigning, also promoting when they can, different campaigns. So it's going to be a pleasure to finally get to sit down and talk with him. His name is Chris Fisk. I wonder if there's any relation with a certain Wilson Fisk. But anyways, please give a big round of applause, a big ominous round of applause for my guest for today, Chris Fisk. Please.
Hey. How's it going, man?
And good, man. How you doing?
Spider-Man has irked my family for the last time.
Nice. Is there any relation? There's no relation there.
well, actually, so Wilson Fisk. Here's a weird bit of odd factoid for you. So Wilson Fisk is actually based off of one of my ancestors, Diamond Jim Fisk, who was a rubber baron in New York.
Wow.
And yeah, he he ended up getting shanked, or no, he got shot in the middle of Broadway Street. I guess he was in a love triangle with some actress or whatever, and the jilted lover popped him one, and yeah, that's the end of the Kingpin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that normally how it goes? It's like some kind of affair with some movie star affair with gangsters and stuff.
Yep.
I'm looking at Frank Sinatra. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normally how it works, no?
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. And so how are you doing today? What's today? I think you have 10 days left for this campaign. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm considering like extending it for another 30 days.
Yeah.
But we've gone through quite a bit of the like limited quantity perks. So I figured I put out a post like, hey, we only got 10 days left. I might extend it, but if there's certain things like some of the limited quantity stuff you want, you might want to get it now before before it disappears, because there's like some of the stuff's in single digits.
Nice. Yeah, man. And I'm looking through the campaign, and you're offering everything. Like there's books, there's world maps, there's standees, there's posters, there's everything. Is there anything that you're not offering?
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have offered like a dagger or a knife or a sword or something.
Oh,
but
that would be sweet.
Yeah. Yes, people tend to frown on that when they send that through customs.
Yeah, I hear that. Awesome, man. And please, this is the first time that we're actually on a stream like talking about this IP. And for the people that are in the chat that may not know, could you tell us is it correct, my pronunciation? Infinitale Chronicles?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah, so it's Infinite.
What is this?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What's up? I think I'm on a little bit of a delay. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Infinitale, a portmanteau of infinite and tale. It goes on the play of like the Never-Ending Story or EverQuest or stuff like that. This is a epic fantasy story that's inspired by Welsh, Irish, Celtic, Scandinavian folklore. Instead of like ripping off Tolkien or basically saying like, hey, this is Dungeons and Dragons, but my spin on it or whatever, I thought, well, why don't I go to the sources? And like this was created back in the early 1990s, so it's a little over 30 years old.
This particular IP?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I started this in the depths of the Pelham Public Library in southern New Hampshire. It began life as a tabletop role-playing game. My high school treated all of its students like criminals. We had to have 140 hours of community service to graduate. So, here I am, a high schooler, like, where the hell am I going to get community service? I'm going to volunteer, do all this stuff. And the librarian said, hey, if you keep the community kids from, climbing the shelves and knocking stuff down and stuff, use them for guinea pigs to play your little role-playing game, I'll give you whatever community service hours you want. So I basically used them to beta test my tabletop role-playing game system, and it extended outwards from the original 4 years all the way into like 10 years. And I managed to get a whole bunch of game testing out of it. We refined the game, but one of the cool things was, well, actually, it wasn't really cool when it started, but we went through a major recession in the 90s, and in order to keep the library's lights on, they needed to start charging, try to get money out of people somehow. So I thought, okay, well, why don't we do like a newsletter or whatever to be, part of this like little fantasy club thing. Do a newsletter once a month for like $5, and you get like a recap of the previous week's adventure or previous month's adventure. Plus, I'd like do a little drawing or whatever. And we called that the Infinitale Chronicles, because it was the chronicled game sessions. And after I left, I graduated high school, went into university, and then I went into video game development and traveled pretty much everywhere: Australia, Japan, California.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite expensive to bring this travel tote with me with all of the collected works that I had, but it was my stuff, so I didn't want to lose it. But I spent about a decade in video game development, and it got a little exhausting when it was like I'm chasing my meal. Like employment was occasionally measured in weeks. So I ended up moving back to New England, and switched careers. I went from video game development to cybersecurity. A little bit of a leap, and
yeah.
I found it was like a little creatively stagnant in the sense that, like, you know, when I was working in video games, I was doing all sorts of creative stuff, and then when I work in cybersecurity, it's like all business. So I wanted to do something on the side. I originally wanted to do this as like a series, like a movie or TV series or whatever. I took screenwriting, went down to Boston, got to visit the Matt Damon and Ben Affleck
Nice.
Project Greenlight stuff. Got a lot of reality checks from that. Basically, they're like, no production house would look at this, and they like basically their eyes would just glaze over when they look at it and go like, yeah, the budget for this would be insane. So I was like,
to make the physical, like a physical tabletop game.
No, to make a movie or a TV series. Like,
okay.
I brought my my screenplay for that, and they're like, no, we got to call this back. Or so I was like, okay, maybe I can do like an animated series or whatever. So I grabbed like Toon Boom, I grabbed Flash, all this stuff, and then I was like, the amount of resources it takes to get this is insane. Like I one man can't do this, or at least I couldn't. So I was talking to one of my engineering buddies, and he's like, well, why don't you just release your tabletop game? Like self-publish it or whatever. We looked at like Kickstarter, and the competition was stiff. So I was like, well, how could I kind of get a little edge on the other tabletop games? And I was like, well, look at what World of Warcraft did. They had like a bunch of games, they had comics and other stuff before World of Warcraft launched. So there were already people at the gates, like ready to go for World of Warcraft before it even launched, because they had all this
before the game launched.
Yeah. So they had all that material to like, basically gate crash. So I was like, well, maybe I could do that with mine, like write a book or whatever. And then he's like, dude, just go into do comics. Cause like, you're a visual guy. And I honestly, I didn't know the first thing about comics. Like I was a fan of comics, although I had an interesting, like entry into it. Like I didn't really do the capes and tights kind of thing. I basically went in through Metal, which is the heavy metal, like the French. And Quadrant. Peter Shue was one of my favorite artists. Fassner and Larson, those guys. So that was kind of my approach through comics originally. And I ended up reaching out to this dude in California who kind of helped people who didn't know what the hell they were doing with comics. He took a look at my screenplay and went, no comic artist will ever work for you if you give them this, because it's in screenplay and it's difficult to parse for a comic. So he helped me. We spent about a year going through the entire script and converting it into a comic book script. And so we ended up in 2021, we launched Infinitale Chronicles Book 1. Like the whole series, there's like 10 books or so planned for this, but we had to go through and do a little choppy. And we got the first book out at 54 pages. And we were originally planning to do the
first comic.
Yep. The first comic. Yep. And so book 2 came out. We were originally planning to do that at 60 pages. And my buddy Oscar, like, dude, when you get proofreaders, you always got to get the ones that are not afraid to tell you your stuff is terrible.
Yeah. That helps out a lot. Yeah.
So Oscar and a couple of my other proofreaders were tearing through this stuff, and I was like, dude, like your pacing sucks. Like, it's not that it's a bad story. It's just nothing happens in this. Like it feels like a filler book. You got to do something, man. This is not going to sell. So I showed him all the rest of the script, and we tore through it, moved some stuff around. And that original 60-page planned book is now 120 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. So part of that solution was to just double the pages and move some stuff.
Poor artist.
Yeah. Well, it took us about 4 years to get it all out. But
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's the artist on those books?
Yeah. So we actually have 3 editions, and the artist on the first book was Antonio Brandeo, who is I want to say he's Brazilian, because no, I'm sorry, no, he's Portuguese. My bad. They both speak Portuguese, so Portuguese throws me off a little bit. And Alzir Alves was the colorist, and he is from Brazil. And
is this what we're looking at now,
yep.
Or is that further down?
Yep. Yeah. So if you're wondering where the interior pages are on that image that you saw at the top there, that Yeah, right there, right there. Yeah,
This
right
one.
there. Yeah, see, there's a button that says free preview. Click to read. So
Sweet.
I'm a big proponent of try before you buy. So you click that button and it will open up a like a page flipper, and you can flip through the book. You can also download the PDF, and
Let's
it's
take a
15
look.
pages for free.
Oh, let's take a look at this bad boy. Yeah, nice.
Sweet. Yeah, that's the standard edition by Antonio and Alzier. And yes,
and there's 54 pages of this artwork.
Yep.
Sweet. And also, you said in the second book is 60 pages also of this art.
Yeah, so the second book is 120 pages. And
what, I'm sorry, sorry, 120 pages. So you guys modified that. Yeah, that's correct.
Yep. And what we're seeing here is just the first 15 pages. And here's the kicker. We ended up getting a husband and wife team, art team, to do an alternate art edition of the same book. So there's the standard edition we're seeing here, and there's also the same book, same story, but done by a different art team called the alternate art edition of book 2. It's also 120 pages, but it's done by the Barbuscos down in Brazil.
Ah, nice. Sweet.
Hell yeah.
I did we collabed on one piece for Colonel Ironsides from Telepathic Bunny. I did a piece for him and then they colored it. They do great work.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Eduardo and Mika are awesome to work with too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard that also. I was talking to T Bunny when I saw that piece, and I was like, yeah, I may swipe her, and he was like, yeah, they're great to work with, and I may get her for a few pinups if I can manage that. No, but great stuff. Yeah, it's a great. Sounds like you got great teams. But why, if you have the artwork, why offer a different version to it? Was there like feedback from backers that they wanted to try something? They didn't like this art.
Yeah, so after I fulfilled the first campaign, I sent out a survey, and part of the survey asked, there's all sorts of questions about the book, like what are you willing to or interested in backing the second book and stuff like that. And we got some negative feedback on the first book's art. Yeah, and they were like, some things don't match the promotional art, so on and so forth. So we had a bit of a sit down with the original art team, and we better aligned with the promotional material, and basically that's what we're getting here in the standard edition is their kind of better alignment with what the works look like from the promotional art.
Sweet. Hey, this image that I'm looking at just give me a flashback of that Apocalypse and Rogue scene from the
Yep. You got our assets there.
yeah, nice. I dig that. This art looks great. I like the coloring. The coloring is very vibrant, and the artwork is nice. It doesn't look janky. Interesting.
Awesome.
Interesting that people wouldn't like this. And so now you're offering artwork from the Barbuscos, and is there a second survey to see if they like the second one also, or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, so what we're planning to do is we'll release another survey after this campaign fulfills, and it will also reach out because in my day job, I'm a UX designer, so you can't treasure what you don't measure. And I want to basically give people that, especially people that pay me, I want to give them more of what they want and not waste resources on things that they don't want,
Exactly.
Like I asked about perks and stuff, and it's like, if people don't like stickers, it's like, I got a negative review on stickers or whatever. I don't really want to make my next campaign have a whole bunch of stickers in it,
Yeah, no, that's great. I also did a survey to see what people think, and made it anonymous, so they can just give me honest truth and their honest feedback, and it's great. I think it works great because hearing from the people, like you say, people that put their money into the project, hearing from them is super important. So great. That's awesome that you're able to listen to this, to critique feedback, and then make corrections if it's necessary. No, that's great. There's a bunch of people that are usually sensitive to because the egos, they're sensitive to getting people to point out some mistakes that could. That's awesome, man. Good stuff, man.
Oh, thanks.
So are there just because hold on a second, I want to acknowledge a few people in the chat. And we got Dave, the creator of Perfect Tennies, in the chat. Bionic Bruh from Tail End Studio, he says, that's what I like to see, two awesome creators chatting about awesome campaigns. Sweet. Thank you very much. Yeah, don't forget, guys, in the chat, smash that like button. And yeah, he's dropping the links. Get your
thanks.
copy of Infinitale Chronicles. And Binding Russ says, I already bagged my manga edition. Now, is the artwork that we're seeing considered the manga edition, or because I don't think Barbuscos they do the art manga, no?
No. So part of that feedback was also kind of conducting an experiment where there's 3 editions of the book available on this campaign.
I heard that.
Yeah. So we saw the standard edition. Then we saw the Barbuscos are doing more of a painterly European style, like a Bandas Designé style. And then we have the Antonio and I did a black and white. So it's book 1 and book 2. It's 180 pages, manga edition. We actually added pages and moved some stuff around. It's not like we just like flipped it and mirrored the pages because like this is a full revamp of the first and second books.
Wow, that's a lot of work. That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
And obviously it's the whole manga, read right to left, so it's backwards and stuff, and you can get a preview of it. Yeah,
it's from. Oh wow, that's always been the challenging thing. I've picked up, I think, 1 or 2 books that have that back to. I just can't. Get to it, but apparently Bionic Blood likes it. So let's see what we got. I love that art. Is that the art that's throughout the book?
So no, that's our cover by Kevin Sharp and Steve Cannon.
Kevin, nice. So
love their work. In fact, that image adorns the shipping box as well. So,
nice. And it's on the thumbnail for today. Sweet.
Hell yeah.
I dig it. So reading it backwards.
Yep.
But I mean, you still look at this image like from left to right, or you have to look at this from right to left?
From right to left.
So for example, I would have to read this speech bubble on the right.
Yep.
And then go up. Wait,
you go
start on the top right, go down like this.
Yep.
And then finish on the left.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
I bought a bunch of manga when I first, because it was like, the kids love manga. So I wanted to kind of know a little bit more about it. And I ended up buying the entire Vinland Saga, My Hero Academia, some Berserk. And that's how they do it. It's all right to left.
Sweet.
Yeah. The sound effects are in Japanese, but all of the dialogue's in English.
Nice.
But that's our manga edition.
Sweet. Yeah, I love this. I love how you got this all set up. This is great. People get a nice, very direct, effective way of looking at what they're going to get before they get it.
Sweet. Yeah. And you don't need to be trapped on a web browser. If you can download the PDF and read it on your own e-reader or whatever. That's your own,
That's awesome. So there's three options. There's the one that we got from the original creator. His name is Antonio. Then you have the manga edition that we just flipped through, which is the black and white one. And then the second one by the Barbuscos.
Yep.
And is there? I'm assuming there's also a link for them for their artwork.
Oh yeah, all 3 of them.
Let's take a look at that. It would be this one.
Yeah,
here we are. Oh, let me take a look at that. Hold on, let me see what that looks like. This is awesome. Is that it? Wait, is that it? Yeah, this is it. Check it out, guys. Check this out. Oh. May I might open it. I might open. Yeah, look at this. It's the same scene, but done from I like that. Yep. Man, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is different.
Yeah, this is their artistic vision of it. I gave the same guidelines. I got the same exact script, and it was kind of like, let's see how let's see how you would envision paneling it. Let's see how you envision.
This is also a great testament to what it means to find a good artist and what it means to have just the right visuals for it. Because like we're seeing here, you give 2 different artists the same exact script, you get 2 different outcomes, and it's always that's always one of my biggest fears. Is like when I draw a panel, I think, am I drawing this the best way that I can? Could there be another angle, another perspective from another point of view where it could be more dynamic? And so I'm always second guessing myself. Not second guessing, but I'm always like looking at my art like, is this really the best that it could have been? That's awesome. That's awesome that you can compare that, made that comparison. Great stuff, man.
Yeah, yeah, and and the whole so basically what I'm doing for an experiment is all three editions are pitched against each other, and I'm keeping score on the actual crowdfunding campaign page. So whichever book gets backed the most, that'll be the style that we pursue forward for the rest of the 10-book series.
Awesome. And what happens to the other 2 books? They get scrapped?
Well, they become collector's items.
Ah, nice. Yeah, good. So you get this book that was never published, like that type of thing. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, because I would hate to see this artwork go to waste. Like, I mean, you did all that work that you guys did, and then for it not to see publishing, that would suck.
Yeah.
But to make it a collector's item, that'd be cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and so we keep a little scorecard going, and we also offer a bundle of both books. Both the standard and the alternate books together, and you get a cool little slipcase. So if you want to grab both books and kind of side by side and compare, because it's weird because I had our proofreaders were reading it, and some were like, "Oh, I didn't get that in this version," and then I missed something, or I got something else in another version.
In the other version.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at right now. Standards at 58, alternate art 40, manga 41. Wow.
Yep.
So isn't that interesting? You did the book originally with Antonio, and then you got feedback saying that they didn't like Antonio's. So you went back to do the survey, and you got 2 teams together, and then you putting all 3 up against each other, and then the original one, Antonio, the one that supposedly people didn't like, is the one that's winning now.
Irony.
Make up your mind, people.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Sweet, so that's awesome.
Sweet. Yeah. And again, it's 120 pages for the standard and 120 pages for the alternate. And then the manga is 180 pages.
180 pages. Wow. Nice. And then the artwork looks all great. I dig it. Awesome stuff, man. And then you're doing all this effort. No. Well, yeah, but people should be happy at the end of the day because democracy ruled. You guys, you gave them an option. They all voted with their money. And so this is what comes out on top. Yeah, awesome. Is getting the links out. Minor Brush says he doesn't like the sound of choppy. Choppy gives me PTSD. What is that about? And Frederick Guimonis here says, "Hey guys, yeah, beta readers are essential. They catch problems before it goes to print. Then it's too late." Yeah.
Amen.
Beta proofreaders, would that be the same thing?
Yeah. I basically I sent out a bunch of
essential.
Yeah, I sent out some advanced books. When I got proofs from the printer, sent them out to a couple of people actually won them as part of a contest.
Nice. Sweet. This is didn't like the article needs attitude adjustments. I want names.
Yeah, unfortunately the survey was anonymous, so I can't.
Nice. And since he got the retail bundle, got some buddies that would love this version. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Spreading the love. I like that. I dig it. And there's a link. Yes, so guys, be sure to get the book. Get your favorite version. You got 3 different ways, 3 different art styles, art teams. You have previews to each one. Listen, geez. I mean, so awesome. And this is not the first campaign you've done.
No, this is the second.
Sweet. Yeah, so bunch of betas reading. I need the most betas for the beta readers. Yeah. That's nice. I dig it. So awesome. And then what happens, for example, if like a backer gets 2 different versions, and then like the one, it's like, let's imagine that I get the standard edition and I get the manga edition, and I really want both, but standard edition wins out. I lose my manga.
Nope. You get your manga.
I still get it. Okay.
Yeah, this is like everybody gets all the backings. So what I do for the process is I go through the crowdfunding, and then after the crowdfunding campaign ends and everybody gets their books fulfilled, I do the survey and everything. I release a retail. An Amazon edition on Amazon. That's I wouldn't say it's of the same quality as these like crowdfunding editions. I personally don't. I don't have the ability to like look through all the pages and make sure inspect it, make sure everything's right. But that Amazon edition, it will be the one that gets whichever of these 3 editions wins. That'll then in turn translate to the Amazon edition after this campaign ends, and that'll be the only one you can get.
Wow. And then you have a collector's item on hand. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's the bundles.
And so this all started as a tabletop game. You're currently in your second book, and then this is going pretty well. I would say, you know, because you have you're way over your funding goal. So
Yep.
are from here, what's next? Like, are you planning to do going back to the tabletop game, or?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to get all 10 books out of the series, The War of the Trees, as it's called, and it'll act as like a historical primer or like a kind of like a backstory for the actual tabletop game. So I get the 10 books out, people learn about the world, and then after that, I self-publish the tabletop role-playing game, and that gives players the ability to make their own stories in this world. So they're familiar with the characters from the comics, and now they can go and do their own stuff with all the rules and stuff.
So you're currently in your second book,
Yep,
planned series of 10 books.
yep. And
Wow.
we unlocked the second stretch goal, which is, get this, a free 40-page black and white preview of book 3, and it's done by Nerium Nova. So
Oh, very nice.
yeah, everybody's gonna back. So if you back the digital perk, you'll get a digital edition of that free preview, and if you back a physical perk, you'll get an actual 40-page book in addition to your other stuff.
Wow. And I'm over here happy I'm offering a second book up, and you got a lot of prices going on. That's awesome. Great stuff, man. Yeah, so 10 books, and you have all these 10 books written out already?
Yep. Yeah, they've been in screenplay format for decades,
For
and
years.
yeah,
Wow.
we converted them into comic script, and I'm actually working with Nerium now on finishing up or getting through that third book, and then based on one of the 3 editions here that wins, that'll determine how we release that third book. Will it be in the style of the standard edition? Will we get Barbuscos back to color it, make it more painterly like a Bendis des Années, or will we go strictly manga, and kind of leave it black and white, but just add more pages?
So Nerium's contributing with layouts.
Oh yeah.
She's not actually drawing the pages,
She's drawing the pages. Yeah, she is.
and then they're going to get drawn again by the team that wins.
No. So I'm actually going to based on those 3 editions. The standard edition, if that wins, we're going to continue with Nerium instead of Antonio. Antonio's got other projects, and it's like, dude, it took us 4 years to get this out, and it's like, I can't be like, look, we got a full production to go, come on, and he's like, dude, I have other stuff, I can't work simultaneously. So it was okay, we'll hand this off to Nerium, and Nerium has been matching a lot of Antonio's style with her own, obviously. And I actually sent that out to proofreaders as well, and I was like, is it jarring? Like, does it feel weird going from Antonio's work to Nerium's? And a lot of people are like, no, dude, I like this. In fact, I haven't seen any negative dings where it's like, oh man, this sucks. Like, I don't like Nerium. I like Antonio better, or vice versa. I didn't get any of that. They're like, no, this feels like a good transition.
Nice. And they've been exposed to other styles also. So I mean, it would that just the changing of style idea isn't crazy for them. That's nice.
Yeah.
Dig it. Wow. So you're already in book 3. You're going to get a free 40-page preview of that. How many pages is that planned for?
Probably around
over 100.
Yeah, probably 120 as well.
And Nerium is doing all those?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
no wonder she's never on his social media or anything, because she's always, you guys got her locked up in the dungeon drawing. Because she's doing this project, and she was finishing up her Wolf project, Bonds.
Yeah,
I think
Bonds. Yeah. There's Bonds. They released a children's Halloween book too.
Yeah.
I think those are recently won the Pumpkids. So yeah, I was stoked. And here's the thing: is like, Nerium was my first like fan art. One day she DMs me. She's like, "Yeah, hey, keep your eyes peeled in the mail. I sent you something," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then boom, I get this package from Eastern Europe. I'm like, "What the hell?" I open it up, and it's a poster, like a small poster of Aisling here, our main hero from the Infinitale Chronicles. She did it, and it's in black and white. And Yeah, if you scroll down, you'll see. I think it's toward the bottom of the page, or actually, it's a hollow foil card I made out of her fan art.
Nice.
So yeah, I think it's definitely down a bit of a ways, but it was originally a free giveaway for the 1,000 followers on Twitter, or now X, and if you missed out on it, you can actually grab that hollow foil card here on the campaign as an add-on. So nice. Yeah, I think it's right after the map. I think nope, after the cards. So yep, there it is, right there. So that was what Miriam sent me that, and I was like, wow, you nailed it. You nailed the style. You nailed everything.
That was great.
I colored it and put it on a card.
You did the colors?
Oh yeah.
Nice. I see. You're not a hashtag just a writer. You also do art.
Well, I used to be an artist, but about 8 years ago, almost 10 years ago now, I ended up, I got this thing called peripheral nerve damage, and I lost full use of my hands. So my art days are over. I can still color. Coloring, is a little easier, but yeah, my hands look like G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip. So it kind of took the wind out of my sails for that. So.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you're still able to create, and glad you're still able to get your stories out there.
Hell yeah.
Stuff, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then these are the 16-bit sprites, because again, back in the 90s when we were developing the game and the stories, I really loved like the old Sega Genesis RPGs like Shining Force and all that stuff. So we ended up getting some like sprite art there from Nicotine Fist, who's an artist on X.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. They're all magnets.
Nice.
And then the store folio box, and then the digital editions.
This is where they where they can put all their books.
Yep. So So this is only available on the Ultimate Bundle, and it's basically a little magnet sealed. Like our first campaign actually shipped with a cardboard collector's box, like a shipping box that looks like that book, but it's not the same quality. Whereas this is an actual store folio, and I got some vinyl stickers and ironed on the internal images there with the Sephiroth-esque character there with the fire and the map. Nice. And the cool thing is the front cover, you can actually pull that piece out, and this thing comes with a bunch of art prints, and you can slide it in and make your own alternate cover if you want.
Nice. Oh, I dig that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then here's some first edition prints of this was left over from the first campaign. We had 3 covers on the first campaign. There was the standard edition cover, the variant cover by Michelle Hefner here, who did this one, and then Genzo Man, who did the second cover. And we ended up selling out of all of the standard edition covers. They're no more. They're not getting printed anymore. And we got some leftover first edition prints of those variant covers. And then we got this poster here. And unfortunately, I got destroyed. I got raw dogged by shipping when I went international trying to ship these posters, because I'm a staunch anti-poster folder.
I hate that.
Yeah, you get like all those creases and it ruins the image. So I roll the posters in these like rigid tubes.
The tubes. Yeah.
Yep. And unfortunately, shipping doesn't seem to like to play nice with that. Because it's non-stackable and it's in like an unorthodox size or whatever. So they charge you like an arm and a leg. This, unfortunately, in this campaign, that double-sided poster is only limited to American backers, because I can't ship internationally. Like the shipping costs were like triple or more the value of the poster, and I can't in good conscience charge that for people.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets crazy shipping internationally. I got a tip from Dennis here in the chat of this company. I think it's a company called Acedia. And for cheaper shipping rates for international stuff. Maybe I'm gonna look into that, because that might be something that could help in that case. Though.
Yeah.
Always gotta look out for ways to help out. And is this, for example, these statues here that you have? Is this like building? Is this like getting the world ready for the tabletop game? Are these used in? Because I'm not familiar with tabletop games. I've never played any, but I'm assuming it's like a like a regular like a board game. No, and then put figures. Is that correct?
Yes. So these are much larger than the board game figures, although when I release the tabletop game, they'll get shrunken down, so you get smaller figurine versions of this. But like, for example, this statuette is like, I think it's like 6 inches tall. And and that sucker glows in the dark. And I don't mean like a slight vague glow. Like you can kind of see it in the photo. I'm like, I'm kind of worried. Like, should I be like wearing gloves?
Yeah. Sweet. And are these going to be used like in an eventual tabletop game?
Yeah, well, the shrunken down version, like the design will be, but not these particular ones. These are too large for the game.
Okay.
So they're just kind of like collector items. This one in particular here, this goat girl, Nessa, she's actually part of a painting kit. So she comes pre-primed. You get this nice little mixing guide, and you get all of the paints, all of the paint brushes, the mixing palette, and even the clear varnish sealer.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you have if you enjoy painting like little mini statues or models.
Yeah, there's also people out there that love doing that stuff also. So that's a good perk to have there. Awesome. And then Dennis is dropping the info in the chat. It says Ascendia, and then the other one is the pirate ship. You can use those for. I'm gonna look into that because I gotta try to find a cheaper price for shipping international because
it's
they get scared. They get scared when they see that shipping, man. And I understand because I got to deal with that stuff also. And sometimes in many cases the shipping is more than the book. And so like, I'm not spending that much money, and so I get it. And this world map is great.
Oh, thanks.
Is this? Did you go? Who did this? This is
I did.
Nice.
That's as my hands were going. That was one of the last things I did. Is they made they made the world map for the original was a little less glamorous. When we were playing the game, sometimes when the library wasn't able to be opened during the weekends, we'd play at my dad's because my parents got divorced, and we'd play at my dad's duplex. And one of my buddies and I ended up covering our entire wall with the world map to this game world. So this thing was like, from ceiling to floor, and it was huge. And this I got it printed out on 16 by 20 canvas, and that is folded, but fortunately, the creases can easily be like ironed out and they disappear.
Nice. I'm doing a world map for my comic also, and this looks great. This looks really good. This looks really professionally done.
Oh,
mine looks not that much.
I don't know, man. I'm a big fan for maps, man. My wall. I have maps from like, have you seen Blood Realm on Robert Geronimo's Blood Realm?
I got the first book and I tried to get into it, but it was not my thing. I mean, no, I got back then, like a few years ago, I got into for Alterna, I looked at the website and I was like, let me catch up on Blood Realm. So I got the first 3 issues. I read them, and I wasn't a big fan of what I got. No, but I mean, there's no jabs at Rob because he's got a successful campaign though. But it's just not my. See, we got in the chat. He says Blood Realm was good. Yeah, I didn't get that far into the story. I just didn't. I wasn't captured by it. But the book look great. The art looks great, and it's very different from what you normally see in comics. So it's good stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of energy, visceral artwork. Rob stuff. Good
stuff. Yeah. So I got that. I got Rini's fiendish map on the wall. It's just like if you got a world map for your campaign, it's going on my wall.
Sweet. And does Blood Realm also have a world map too? I didn't see that in the books that I got. Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah. It's
sweet.
I think it's kind of a requisite for like a fantasy world.
Yeah, because especially in my case, like mine is also 100% fantasy. I don't know the correct term because I've heard this. Gregory Levicha was on the channel and he told me about the terms high fantasy and low fantasy. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so mine would be because the way I understood it is that the closer it is to Earth's reality, that would be low fantasy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
high fantasy is something completely different from what you would expect on Earth. Something like
yeah.
that. You know?
Well, I also use it as kind of the more the presence of magic and fantasy creatures, it
Mm,
becomes higher fantasy. Like Lord of
okay.
the Rings is high fantasy, and
Okay.
I guess like the early chapters of Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire is more low
Yeah.
fantasy.
Have you read Groken?
Yes. Oh, Roquefort.
That would be that would be high fantasy. Is that
Oh,
correct?
that's definitely high fantasy.
Okay, so I'm going for something like that. I'm going for like mid to high fantasy. Not
Nice.
yeah, mid high. That's what I'm going for. And so yeah, like and so part of the story, because in my case, my story takes place in like a different planet, a different
Hmm.
world altogether. So it's essential for people to know where things are happening. You know, so
Hell yeah.
like for example, though, I like like to hear your opinion. Like, would you like you revealed the entire world map? Like this is the entire world, or are you revealing like parts of it at a time?
So this is the
As
known
a
world.
yeah.
It's one big continent called Foytla, and our story starts in it's mentioned in the opening scene that this continent is kind of broken out, almost like a spoke and pinwheel kind of thing of
Hmm.
these 7 sovereignties ruled by queens. And our first sovereignty that we look at, where our story takes place, is in Tir Gothen, which is the land of the tree. And we haven't yet seen in the rest of the story yet, like Tir Afanith there, or the Andorrak, or Tir Ildathach. Like those places will come much later. But it's nice to show kind of like where it is. And in the book,
Mm.
you'll actually see like kind of like a zoomed in mini map, and it's like this is where they currently are.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in plan. What I'm doing in with mine also.
Hell
Like
yeah,
I have a big thing, but I'm thinking like I don't want to like overwhelm everybody, so I'm just gonna
yeah,
show them where they're at the time that the story is taking place. And so
yeah,
you
yeah.
said you say that this starts at the very top here. Turn this one.
No, it's at the very bottom right, or yeah, right with Tir Egothen. It's the turquoise
Here goes
gem.
in
Yeah.
this one. This is where it starts.
Nope. One
No,
up. So above the
this
blue.
one.
Yeah, right there, right there. Yep.
Okay.
That's the capital, the royal seat of Hafenheid, which is where our story kind of opens. And
Mm,
it's the story is basically this like utopia. Like everybody's pretty young. It's like eternal adolescence. Nobody gets
mm.
old. Nobody gets sick. Nobody gets pregnant. So it's
Nice.
just it's this
Everybody's
perfect.
backing books and everybody's fulfilling books. There's no late books.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
perfect, man.
and that's kind of so like the Alvar people, which is the elves basically. They again, this is all based off of Welsh and Irish and Celtic mythology.
Mm,
These proto elves essentially live in like perpetual adolescence, and they're ruled over by these gigantic custodial gods called the Fovra or the Fomorians, and they
mm.
just basically like they live in a theocracy. You never question like anything. It's a big dogma. So you just go along with it because, dude, you live in a perfect life. What do you care? If they're telling you to do
Yeah.
something dumb, just do it, But one day, like our opening kind of story starts where Aisling here, our queen, she gets pregnant. And they're like, "Oh shit!
Oh,
Like, what is this? What do we do?"
that wasn't part of the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "What's going on? Like, elves don't get sick, so I'm feeling really queasy every morning. What's happening?" And one of the they end up getting this like animal husbandry expert woman to come in and deliver the baby because they're like, she's delivered calves and cattle and stuff. I guess she can help us with this. But yeah, they're
Oh,
all
wow.
at a loss.
And do you like? I'm assuming you find out who the guy is that got her pregnant.
Well, that's it's the dude with the red hair that he knocked her up, but like he's
It's
the
always the
king.
red hair.
Yeah, damn gingers. No, the king. The two of them are like, how did this happen or whatever? And the way
Oh,
that their
we know how it
society,
happened.
yeah, we know how it happened. But imagine living in a world where like, that information was just, you're a child, like you're
Mm,
perpetually, so they start freaking out or whatever. And there's this process with the religion, the Druidic order that kind of governs them, that kind of acts as an intermediary between the giant gods that walk among them and the people, where they name the kids and stuff. So they brought them before their baby before the druids, and the druids are like, "Oh, hey, by the way, we have this thing called the harvest, where every few hundred years or however many long period of time we actually sacrifice male members that are drawn in a lottery. So like, we drew their name, and they get renewed or they get sacrificed to the gods. And this baby, when the baby gets its name, suddenly surprise, like suddenly the baby has his name drawn as one of the people to be sacrificed. And our queen, Aisling here, is like, oh, hell no. Like, the kid didn't even get a chance to live. I'm not going to, basically kill my kid to sacrifice to the gods. Didn't even have a chance to live yet. And that's where kind of our adventure begins, where it's like, we'll see what happens to this paradise when you defy the dogma that you've been going along with all this time.
That sounds great. Sounds compelling. I like that. Awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Sweet.
Yeah, that dark-haired chick is the one that's been like the animal husbandry. She's like delivering it. She's like basically kind of providing solutions because these people are so clueless about babies.
Crazy. And I got a Pity Mars in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you. Good morning. Yeah, she digs the world maps also. So, this is great. I love maps, canvas maps. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Do they and backers, they get the book and they also get like this world map also? Is there like a poster for that?
Yeah. So the world map is if you back, it's an add-on. It's that canvas world map, 16 by 20 inch, and it's folded and it has a little card that comes with it that talks about the different sovereignties or the kind of the kingdom. They're not called kingdoms because they're all ruled by queens, but yeah.
Sweet.
And that girl with the white hair, she's one of the queens.
Nice. And so they get this, and is this world map also like is that how like is that what they see on the tabletop game also, like when that comes to life?
Oh well, yeah. So the world will be referenced in the game, but that canvas map isn't really part of any of the play. They can use it for reference for locations, but like you don't put like little figures or pieces or whatever on the map at all.
Huh. Interesting. And then it says, colored books are shipped. Nobody quits crowdfunding. Yeah, in the perfect world, no. And he's like, but she sat on the toilet and got pregnant. There's no baby daddy. Nice, sweet. That's awesome. Awesome stuff, man. And so that's an interesting story.
Oh, thanks.
Interesting story. Yeah. And you've been around the scene for a long, long time. I didn't know that you had started so much further back than that. That's awesome.
Yeah, over 30 years.
Yeah, sweet. And and you've seen a lot of the changes in the indie comic scene over the years.
Oh boy. Yeah.
That's probably a good assessment of everything. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, it's like, in light of recent events, we've had some people that haven't delivered. And it's like, it kind of feels like a double whammy when you're both a backer and a small creator. Because like as a backer, it's like, oh great, it's another book that I get
not getting.
Yeah. And then as a small creator, it's like, great, I'm not even like, I'm a no name. What chances do I have to keep entice people when the big campaigns aren't fulfilling?
Yeah, it completely destroys backer trust in everything that we do, and so it throws a big wrench in everybody's plans, and then creators like myself that just now started, we gotta do that uphill battle, fighting against the current to make sure that we offer something that people will take a risk on. So it sucks to see it. It's like you say, there's a book I won't get, and then there could be also a book I won't sell.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing I can say is that like my first campaign, again, unproven product, I'm a nobody. Everybody got their book, and I shipped during the height of COVID, and I had to battle with New Zealand's anti-American crap where they would send, like, I'd spend all this money to ship to New Zealand, and then they'd ship me the book back. And my backer is like, where the hell's my book? I'm like, dude, your country kept denying it, and it cost me a lot of money. So, but that's not the backer's problem. So I had to kind of eat that and make sure they got their book.
Man, and you had to send it twice?
Yeah, I had to send it twice.
Oh,
over $150 in shipping. Yeah, I was not impressed.
No, New Zealand was acting crazy back then. They're acting crazy now, I think. No.
Yeah, I think they've calmed down a bit.
Yeah, and then it says double down, guys. Work harder, pitch your stuff well,
Yeah.
and make it good. Yeah.
Well,
At
if
the end of the
there's,
day, that's all we got. No?
yeah, I mean, if there's any other like assurances I can give, is other than the fact that I did deliver on the first book, I already have this book printed. I've got like over 100 of these. Like, if I get more backers, that'll be great. I can send more requests for printing.
Mm.
But like, I've got over 100 of these books sitting in my my dining room right now on one of my shelves, because I went to a comic convention last year in September, and I brought all this stuff there, and I made some pretty decent sales. But like, I still have a bunch of inventory, so it's like the books are done. I'm not selling an idea that, hey, pay me money and in a year, 2 years, 5 years, or whatever, when I get around to finishing the book, I'll ship it out to you. It's like, no, I literally, here's the book. Some people even already have this book.
Nice.
So that, you at least have some level of confidence that it does exist. This whole campaign isn't designed to pay my rent or anything. It's designed to, mitigate the damages from my finances that it took to produce this book. And then it also pays to get this book shipped. Like, I'm not, I got a day job. So, by this book failing, all it'll do is make me sad. Like, it won't, that's it. Like, I won't lose my house.
Yes, and let's not make Chris sad. No, it's not. He cannot afford to be sad. There's no sadness here. Awesome stuff, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got it. You already got it. No, good. So you got 10 more days. Please get in on it before it closes out. And are you going to leave this open as a storefront type thing, or is this closed out?
Yeah, this closes out. I'm like I said, I might extend another 30 days after this 10 days is up. But there's a lot of finite perks that are disappearing real quick. So if like for example, a lot of those legacy perks, like the first edition print and all that stuff, like I'm in the single digits on some of those. So yeah, and if I renew, there's a high likelihood that the next 30 days some of those perks will be removed. Because I don't want to offer a bunch of stuff that's like it's either not there anymore. Like, yay, come check out my campaign, sold out.
Yeah, I got you. No, yeah, I think that's also a smart move. Like, I mean, I understand why keeping the storefront is open, but if you keep a storefront open, then also like people are not going to be that likely to back it because they know that in the back of their head, oh, that place is going to be open for forever, so I can get it whenever I want, and then they always put that, to the side. Yeah, I think like if you run a 30-day campaign and you like this is all the time you got to get it while you can, otherwise you'll miss out. I think that might motivate people to get it more. It's something to have. I don't know if it's good or not, but I get that. I get that vibe from storefront versus yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is your white glove treatment. Like the crowdfunding stuff. If you're backing me, like you're overpaying essentially. Like these books, you can go on Amazon, and I bought like My Hero Academia. It was like a 500-page book for like $8. You know what I mean? Like you're the reason why you're overpaying is because you're not just supporting this book. You're not just like it's not a marketplace. You're not just buying a book. You're supporting the process. You're supporting the project. You're helping fund future books, etc. So when you're getting the books from the crowdfunding campaign, that's your white glove treatment. You're getting the premium edition. You're getting the best of the best. And then afterwards, like when the campaign ends, and I push it into like a retail edition. On Amazon or whatever, I don't have any quality control over that. So if their distribution center is Ace Ventura, like I have no control over that. But yeah, so the idea is that by supporting the crowdfunding campaigns, you will get like my intent, like the best example possible. The white glove, the premium edition, everything, all these bells and whistles. None of these additional perks will be available. Once you get the Amazon edition, it's literally just the book, no frills.
Nice. I got you. Awesome stuff, man. Manga edition, got the art, good stuff. Got the 2-book bundle.
Yeah.
And that means you get this is both book 2 editions, collectors, and slipcase. Nice.
Hell yeah.
$48. That's a good perk.
Yeah. Manga edition's $10. You know, if you missed out on the first campaign, that's a good one to jump in if you're a fan of manga, because it's both books 1 and 2.
If I'm not mistaken, I got the digital for book 1 when you did that campaign. If I'm not mistaken, I had to check my emails, but if not, I'll be sure to get this digital.
Hell yeah.
This digital standard edition.
Yeah, and because we unlocked that second stretch goal, you'll get the digital standard edition plus the free 40 page. Yeah. So
Sweet.
2 books.
Nice.
And yeah, that's, you know, that's we're trying to give value, you know, especially in this, you know, crappy economy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got to give people the biggest bang for their buck, you know, because trying to make it get as much as they can, because because this was the best way to appreciate the backers. You know? And Pretty Much says, "Ooh, just backed the 2-book bundle and the first issue because I'm a completist and the canvas map." Sweet.
Oh, thank you. So awesome, you'll also get. So you're also going to get the 40-page preview of book 3 by Nerium in black and white, and we unlocked the 3rd stretch goal. Because you backed a finite limited edition bundle, you'll also get the Ashcan mini art book that's got all the promotional art and everything from the first campaign and the second campaign.
So there's the 2 books from book 1, book 2 of Infinitale, and then she's also getting the 40-page preview of book 3 and an art book featuring all of the promotional art.
Yep.
From both campaigns.
Yep.
Sweet. That's a kick-ass deal. I like that.
Hell yeah.
Congrats, Pity Ma. You're gonna enjoy that. And she got the map.
Yeah.
I dig that. Man, I was gonna say like if you're open to commissions for a map, but man, it sucks that you can't do art anymore.
Yeah,
this was great. I like how this came out.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
This looks great.
Yeah, there's another world that we'll see later on, but yeah. And then these are all the art cards. So yeah, the first pack of art series 1 trading cards, they all sold out, unfortunately. But series 2 is available, and what we're looking at right here is a possibility of an 11th free card added to that series 2 foil pack. So you'll get a guarantee those 10 cards right there, but there's a likelihood that you might get one of these limited edition holo foil cards as well.
So these are trading cards also. Yep. So okay, and they come in their package. Okay, I got you.
Yep. Yeah, and they're plastic, so they don't tear.
Nice.
Although I have heard that is a challenge.
Yeah. And, definitely.
So yeah, you get those 10 art cards, or you get the 4 character bio cards or whatever, and then the covers and stuff, and then the holo foil cards below are like the special edition promotional ones. And some of them actually have on the back one of the magic runes that represents one of the elements and parts of the spells. So when it's referenced in the book, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's wood, or that's fire, or that's wind, or whatever. And you can tell because you can see the rune, and you got it like the representation of it on the card.
Sweet. And I dig that. And then you have information about the art, all the artists.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude, that burns my ass, man. When I worked in the gaming industry and they had a staunch anti-art credit crap, like
I hate that. Yeah.
It's so bullshit, man. Like you got it. They're like, they don't. Their problem is they're afraid if they make rock stars out of the artists will actually be like, well, maybe I can ask for more money or go somewhere else. My thing is I want the artists to become rock stars because that'll attract business to my product. They're like, oh, you're a fan of Pau Rodriguez? Dude, we got Pau Rodriguez on this campaign, In fact, I colored. I got 2 images from the from the Perfect 10 campaigns from Dave Brink's Genuine Comics.
I think it's this one. I think this one's Pau.
Yeah, that's Pau. So I colored his black and white. He sent me a black and white sketch because it was part of the one of the tiers where you could get a custom art from Pau Rodriguez, and I'm like, oh, is that so? So I basically commissioned him to do some characters for Infinitale Chronicles, and we've got this. He sent me the black and white image of Aisling here, and I colored her, and then threw a background from Zedge, who's our concept artist, and boom, there we go. And that, in fact, when the campaign first launched, the first 7 days, everybody that backs during the first 7 days got the early bird perk, which was a free 5x7 card of that image of that Pow did. And the full image of this is also available in the mini art book that Pity Ma will be getting.
Now, that sounds great, man. And now I have a question. How are you going to lay out the page on that? Like, are you going to do like the entire page is going to be nothing but the art, or are you going to frame it so that? How are you?
So I wish I had. So I have 2 computers. I wish I had my work one up. But yeah. So it's a manga sized, the digest sized mini art book, and yeah, the art is full page, and there'll be like a little caption, that's like, hey, this was done by Paul Rodriguez, or and then in the back there's an index that has the artist and then all of the pages that their art was featured on.
Sweet.
And then how to contact them, like, hey, this is Paul Rodriguez, go check out prodriguez.com or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I'm having art on mine also, and the way I'm doing it is because also from the art aspect, like I want to see all of the art. No, because and I know for example, like if you put all of the art on like the template for getting the book
cut off,
part of it's going to get cut off, and I'm like, man. And so I was thinking it might be good to like have like a frame for it so you can see all of it, and then like you're saying though with the caption and their handle like on X or whatever, so they can contact the artist, no? Because it's also good to promote, no? So
interesting. That's what I'm trying to do with the mini art book. Is it's actually kind of like a I don't know, like a promotion for the artists. Like, yeah, sure, it's Infinitale art, but I mean, dude, like with AI and all this other garbage that's hitting artists and stuff today, we really got to get the word out. Like, there's still quality artists out there that need more work, And I think this is the best thing I can do is, from a hashtag just the writer, is to be like, hey, thanks for working on my campaign. Without you, it wouldn't have happened. Now let's get your name out there and get you more business.
Nice. That's awesome. And so you're doing all this work. You're making all these editions of the book. You're working your way to 10 books. But I get the feeling at the end of the day, your end game is to make that tabletop game a reality.
Yeah. So again, like this is just your history. Like this is explaining, like introducing people to the world, to the universe of Infinitale. And then once they're like, oh, okay, I want to get on the ground level now, you can play the role-playing game. And the role-playing game allows you to do like collaborative storytelling, allows you to kind of basically build your own adventure. And with that, you kind of get to see all the Lego pieces that are provided by these comic books. It's like, oh, I know where that is. Or like we're talking about like the, Thierry Goathen there, or the Heffenheim, the Royal Capel or whatever. It's like, oh, I know where that is, or I know who that character is if they're still alive. What I mean?
If they don't get killed off.
Yeah, a lot of so Infinitale Chronicles is a multi-generational story, and it's got an ensemble cast. And not everybody makes it to the end of the book. In fact, a lot of people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people.
It gives the story more depth and more seriousness. I dig it. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm killing people off in my comic too.
yeah. That's dude, that is like my it sounds sadistic and cruel, but that's my ultimate goal. Is like how when we're killing characters off and stuff, I want people to stay dead. Yeah. They stay dead. There's stakes there. I want people to cry when someone dies. I want people like, no, you son of a bitch. You killed so and so.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I agree, because that happened to me. Because my comic is influenced a lot from the video game Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah.
And so that scene in the game where Aerith she dies, that traumatized me because I had not suspected like a main character like that to just like die and then stay dead for the entire. I thought she would die, and then they come up with like some kind of spell or kind of thing that later they'll bring her back. And I was like, I was playing through the whole game, but then like I got further into it, I was like, wait, she's not coming back. Because she's not back. Like, why did she not come back? And then I was like, oh man, and so that like I said, like it gives a story more seriousness. There's actual stakes there, and so it makes it more memorable for the person reading it. And so I'm fully on board with that. I'm going to do that in my comic. Also, I'm killing off a bunch of people. So don't get too attached. Don't get too attached.
Yeah, you're like mashing the Phoenix down into the corpse of Aerith. What's going on? Work!
Yeah, it's not coming. She's not coming back. It sucks.
Damn, you stuff her off.
Yeah. Awesome, man. And yeah, so that has been we're way past the hour mark. Yeah, I have but yeah, we're going to wrap up in just a bit. But yeah, that has been a rundown of the campaign and the story from this creator Chris, who's got lots of experience under his belt working in the indie comic scene. He's fulfilled already a campaign. He's looking to fulfill his second. And then yeah, the book looks great. There's three different editions of it, so you can pick the art style that you like. If you don't know what it looks like, he's got these excellent links here where you can see exactly what the art looks like, get a preview of each style. This is an amazing selling tool, because you can see exactly what you're going to get. And it's got a lot of extra stuff to it. And you got your collector box, you got figurines, what are they called? Statuettes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can paint, you can check out the world map, everything in preparation for that tabletop game. So get it. No, get this. This sounds great. This looks great. This is War of the Trees 2, and one day I'll have you back on the show for War of the Trees 10.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll do that, man. It sounds great. So guys, please be sure to back this. And there's a link. Please be sure to click on the link. And what's going on, Marinas? Marinas, you're always late, man. You're always late. When Marina shows up, I know I got to close down the stream.
Well, speaking of basically when we're doing international shipping, he ordered like a pretty high tier bundle, and I sent it to him, and international shipping, and he's like, like a month later, he's like, hey Chris, where's my book? I'm like, what do you mean? I sent it. It's international. It's like, where's my book? I'm like, I don't know, man. So I looked up the tracking number, and it was like lingering in Jamaica or something. I'm like, what the hell? So I was like, you know what? In 30 days, if you don't get it, I'll just send you another one. So 30 days go by, book never came. Sent him another one. Yeah, he sends me a video. Hey, Chris, I got some news for you. I'm like, what's that? And he just shows his video, and he's like, it looks like it was like a log jam, because the when you sent the second one, I got both of them.
Man, sweet. Yeah. Send one back.
Yeah, I think he gave one away for a contest, but it was like it was infuriating, because it's like international shipping. Like once it leaves our country, like if you don't use like the pirate ship, or like the services that you mentioned above, like it becomes like you're at the mercy of these people that just don't care if your package gets shipped.
Yeah, that happened to me once. I shipped out art, and it didn't get there for like over 3 months. I was like, crap. And interestingly enough, the person who got that got another piece of art, and so I sent the second piece of art, and that one got there faster than the first one did. And it's crazy. Like you never know. And I did the exact same procedure for each one. You just never know.
Yeah.
Once it leaves, it's in the hands.
Coin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anything can go. And so yeah, I'm like paranoid with that, because I always, like, when I send out original art, like every 15 days I check to see, make sure if everything's on track. If I see anything out of order, I contact the person who bought the art, and then say, hey, do you know, just let you know it's taking a little bit longer, or this happened, or something like that, to keep them informed, because I get worried about that. And it's funny, because I'm over here like I'm worrying about it, and then the other guy, when I contact them, was like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll see it when it gets here. They're all nonchalant about it.
That's a really good idea to keeping communication lines too. Like, yeah, that's awesome. Because as a backer, you don't hear anything, and then a year goes by, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, awesome. And so just in case anybody's wondering, Chris, where can we find you? Like, where do you normally hang out? Where how can people stay in touch and informed about any updates on Infinitale?
Sweet. Yeah. So I got my website. It's actually, there's a link at the very bottom of the campaign page, InfinitaleChronicles.com. It's got all the latest news. It's got links to the crowdfunding campaign, and you can preview the first book there and all that stuff. And then over on X, I'm at Infinitale Comic, and you can see me drop my spicy takes there.
Awesome. Yeah, and actually I got those links at the in the description below. So just click on the description and you'll see the links for that website. You know, so check that out. Be sure to follow Chris, get your copy of your book, get your world map on, you know, enjoy your world map. And that's it. So thank you very much, Chris. It was a pleasure hanging out with you. And I'll be sure to have you on for book 3, on to book 10, then the TT the tabletop game. And then after that, the animated movie, and then everything.
Awesome. Well, dude, thanks for having me. Awesome. I had a blast, man. Really appreciate
thank you.
This.
Likewise, man. It was really it was great to have you here. And then Dennis here, he says, "I received the Gemini Miller without books."
Whoa!
Gladly, the campaigner sent me the whole thing in. That's crazy. A Gemini Miller with no books.
Dang.
That's a surprise. That's a surprise. Oh, let me see what my book looks like. Oh, it's invisible. It's invisible. All right, so so that'll be all for today. I will see you guys on Monday. Monday I have another show. Monday I have Raiden Radio coming on to talk about his comic. I can't ever pronounce it right. Eudaimonia. I'm not sure.
Or you got
Eudaimonia. Yeah. So Raiden Radio will be here on Monday, and then back again on Thursday with just me hanging out with you guys. And that's it. And just we'll keep this rolling. Don't forget, we're less than 2 weeks away from the launch of Ominus. Please sign up. The sign up link is pinned to the chat. So sign up because we're getting the ball moving. And if you have signed up, please check your emails because I sent out an email today. You should have gotten it. Check it in your spam, in your junk box, whatever it's called. And please contact me on X if you haven't received anything, and then I'll see what's up, or if anything, I'll just give you the information through X. But yeah, so thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Cheers. See you guys. Have a great day. Thank you very much. And that's it. And then with that, we are out. Thank you very much, Chris. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
And with that, we are out. Wait, hold on. Let me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Petey Ma. I'll see you guys on Monday. You guys be safe.